So hi, my name is Noob Salmon. This is a commentated speedrun of Fallout 3 All Quests category. So the run starts from a pre-made save, which is the first autosave that the game makes when you gain control of your character the first time. So when I press S, yes, the run will start. So 3, 2, 1, go. So the first thing you're gonna notice that I'm gonna quick save and quick load skip NPC's dialogue. So quick save and quick load is kinda broken in this game, and we're gonna make use of it.
We'll be okay, honey. I'll be back in a bit.
That's the first thing that's useful for. So for our special stats, we pick 10 endurance, 10 charisma, 8 intelligence, and 9 luck. So the 10 charisma and 9 luck are needed to be able to have as many speech skill as possible for the start of the run, because there's gonna be a very hard speed check after the vault section. Endurance mostly for safety, intelligence for the repair skill. So I skipped dialogue twice there. I'm gonna wait for Dad to be in his position. I'm gonna quick save and quick load and open this door with the strength of a baby. And that's the first quest done, called Baby Steps. So we jump 9 years to the future. And we are at our 10th birthday party, but we don't like birthdays. Birthdays are lame, so we're just gonna bail out and leap through a door by quick saving and quick loading. That's the second useful thing that we use quick saving and quick load for. So I talked to Jonas and then back up, and
are you ready for your
Dad spawns there, and we got the BB gun for the target practice. So I shoot Jonas because he will walk to the room earlier. That basically skips one of his dialogue lines, I think, and I'm gonna need to shoot 3 targets. And a red roach will spawn. Killing the red roach triggers Dad's dialogue.
Good work. Hey,
and
Jonas, get a picture
at the end, we just push Dad to his place because he's kinda slow. And skip. And there we go. That's the second quest done, called Growing Up Fast. So we are 16 now. We are aging really fast. So we are taking the goat now.
Go on.
And the goat is a test basically, which lets us tag 3 skills. So tagging means that we can add 15 extra points to that skill, and we're gonna tag speech, explosives, and lockpick. Speech for the speed check I mentioned earlier, explosives because we need 25 explosives for disarming the Megaton bomb, and eventually we need 100 lockpick skill points to be able to open very hard locks. So we are 19 now, we are done aging. And we talk to Yamata and we get the contents of this first aid box. I'm gonna void out here and punch the air. Punching the air prevents NPCs talking to you, because it marks you as busy and they won't talk to you if you are busy.
Hold on, Missy, I just want to talk to
just like here. So I will mention voiding out. Basically what I'm doing is that I go out of bounds, and the game has a failsafe that just resets you at a certain position on that loading zone, and we are out of the vault with that final COC warp. So COC stands for Central Cell, and every loading zone has a COC point. So we can actually skip areas by voiding out, and it's pretty useful. So I'm gonna put explosives to 25 and the rest goes to speech. And I picked Daddy's girl. Most of the perks in this game are for safety. I'm gonna mention if they are actually useful, but only thing that matters is the skill points, basically. So running to Megaton. I'm gonna do 2 quests here, but before that I walk here to trigger the opening of the Megaton door. And there are traveling merchants in this game, and we have to wait for Lucky Harry's cycle, because he's the only one selling weapons. There we go.
Ah, fellow student.
So we picked up some
Please
stim packs from the first aid box,
enjoy my
and I'm
selection
gonna
of
sell it
high-quality
and buy a
products.
missile and a missile launcher. And I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna equip the missile launcher. I'm gonna bind some stuff. So I pull out the missile launcher, and I'm gonna make a hard save here for later. And I'm trying to do a glitch here. So I quick saved, and I try to cripple my legs at the same frame. I reload that quick save. And I got it, nice. So this glitch is called Speed Cripple.
You're from that.
I will talk about that a bit later when I have more time. Right now, I'm disarming the bomb that starts the quest, The Power of Atom. And the next quest we are gonna do is the Wasteland Survivor Guide. So Moira here tries to write a book about surviving in the wasteland, but before the first quest starts, I think I messed up. Yes, I messed up. Sorry. So, anyways. So basically, we can tell her that it's actually kind of stupid to write that book. So you can convince her that she shouldn't write that book. But there's a 41% chance for that, so whenever I'm failing the speed check, I'm gonna reload this. There's a second try. It's usually nice to me, but
how's this?
she's not really nice to me at the moment. There we go, third try. We pick up a holotape here, which is the first clue for the quest, the replicated man. And I'm gonna fast travel to Megaton, save some
I'll be damned.
walking time, and talking to Lucas seems completes the quest at the Power of Atom. And I'm gonna put all my points to the lockpick skill. And there we go, we are done with the Megaton quest. So, speed triple. So basically what happens is that when your leg gets crippled, your speed resets to 0 and immediately gets compensated by about 60% of your normal speed. But if you do this when you reload the game, when I basically quick loaded the game and crippled myself, the game gets confused because it will add that speed to my normal character, which is not crippled. So basically it will stack that 60% to my normal character, so I will walk 60% faster than my normal speed. There we go, alright. So we got really lucky here, we got a Nuka-Cola Quantum outside. That's very rare. So what happens is that we need to farm a Nuka-Cola Quantum in one of those vending machines. There are 2 outside and 1 inside. And usually what happens is that you're not that lucky to get one from the outside. And you need to make a quick save outside of that super duper mart and enter and farm a quantum inside. And if you don't have, if that vending machine doesn't have a quantum, just reload that quick save and re-enter, because spawn items set in the game when you first enter a loading zone. So basically you do some nice RNG manipulation with that quantum spawn, because there's a 10% chance for every vending machine to have quantum in it. So basically you need to manipulate the game to let that quantum appear. But we got lucky there. So the next stop is Dukov's place. So Dukov, we need to kill him. And also one of his girlfriends, nice. Because we need bad karma. And we take Dukov's special key. We also take a bunch of empty whiskey bottles, because our character is kinda environmental friendly and she really hates, you know, garbage. So we're gonna do some stuff with that, apparently. Those whiskey bottles. So basically I killed Dukov because he's a quest NPC for the quest. You gotta shoot them in the head. Where you basically need to collect 3 keys from 3 different NPCs. Dukov, Dave, and that's rare. I'm gonna turn in that quest for a ghoul named Mr. Crowley in the underworld, and once you turn in those keys, the quest will be completed. There's more to that quest, but I try not to spoil that many stuff, but that's one of the easiest quests, but you know, you need to collect some stuff for that. Anyways, we are heading south now, because we need to discover the Jefferson Memorial. That's kind of a key location for the game, if you played this game before. We're gonna fast travel back here for a couple of times. So we discovered it. We are gonna fast travel back to Vault 101 and head to north. So, a few things I want to mention. I think I haven't talked about clipping. So the way that clipping works is that you quick save and quick load, and you can go through some 3D objects, and basically the game renders the floor and then the NPCs and you, and then everything else after it. So basically there's a small frame window where you can actually occupy a space of a 3D object before it even exists. So you can clip basically inside of that object. The game tried to push you in one direction, and if you're facing in the right direction, you can actually go through that wall or 3D object. That's how you can clip through stuff. So I tried to do this swag jump. Oh no. From this mailbox. Oh god, this is terrible. There we go. So, third try. That saves like 6 seconds, because otherwise we need to go around.
Hey, who are you?
Here. So we need to talk to this guy. And basically, we discover some fast travel locations for later quests. So we discovered the big town, and the next thing we're gonna discover is RFU. We basically initiated some quests here, and at RFU we're gonna do second one. But we are not gonna do some quests for a while now. We just basically make progress in them. Alright. So for RFU, basically we're gonna start a quest called Blood Ties. So in that there are some vampires which call themselves the Family, and they're kinda disturbing the residents of the town, and the mayor or the sheriff is kinda pissed with them, and he asked us to help him. And the first thing we're gonna do is check the residences here. There's 3 families here.
Hang on, you're not one.
And this is like a scripted explosion, you don't get hurt by that. So we talked to Ivan, he's the sheriff I mentioned. And so this is kind of an annoying thing, but we need to basically knock on some doors, which sounds stupid, but it's actually needed for the speedrun. You can skip this. But you need to ask them to feel like everything is okay, and they're like, yes, just leave me alone. So that's the first house, that's the second one.
It's nice to see a friendly...
Nice. She's okay too. Great. Let's check the third house. Hope they are well too. Well, they're just having a nice nap there. Except, sadly, they are dead, so we need to report back to Ivan. Oh, he ran away.
What did they tell
What a
you?
nice guy. So basically, we tell him that, you know, the parents are dead, and he's saying that, oh, but there was a kid with them. Oops. There was a kid with them called Ian, and he suspects that the family took him. which is actually true, but we don't have idea where the family is. So he suggests some places, but we actually know where family is. So the sorting that we can use, Yankee clothing. Oh my god, I clipped inside that rock. That's never happened to me before. Well, this is unfortunate. Alright, so I clipped inside the rock. That can happen, and I can't get out. So I need to do this section again. Nice.
What did they tell you?
That was unfortunate. So in this game, rocks are not solid. I mean, this is clearly an indication that this is a nice Bethesda game. So I want to mention that I wanted to mention that you can negate fall damage if you quicksilver and quick load before hitting the floor. Oh, come on. There we go. And that's the sorting basic thing that we using quicksilver and quick loading. Alright, so we discovered Northwest Seneca Station. That's actually the direction that we need to go to for this quest, Blood Ties. But our gun kinda sucks at the moment. So we need to get a better one. Because the only two guns that we have is the missile launcher, but we only have one missile. And the 10mm gun that we got from Amata, and that's just very inaccurate. Because we only have 9 gun point skills, so we need to have a better one, but soon we will get one. Right, so we are heading towards Paradise Falls, and I mentioned earlier we need to have bad karma at this point,
right there.
because there is a karma speed check here. And if you don't have the karma speed check, there's like 4 or 5 more dialogue lines, and it loses like 3 seconds. So that's why we killed one of the ghost's girlfriends. So we headed to Paradise Falls and we started the quest, strictly business. For that quest, basically they are slavers and they ask us to collect 4 VIP slaves for them. One of them is Arkansas, in the minefield, and that's where we headed now. Susan, Lancaster from Tampany Tower, Red from Big Town, and Fleck from Rivet City. And the way you can do this quest is that instead of enslaving all of them, you can actually kill 3 of them, and that takes them off the list. But if you enslave 1 remaining, then the quest still gonna be completed. If you kill all 4 of them, the quest will fail. So obviously you don't want to do that in an all quest run. So basically enslaving people is just mazzing them. We got a weapon called Mesmetron, and we got some slave collars which explode if you know the slaves go too far from Paradise Falls or something like that. But there's like an animation, and like you have to talk to them to be able to enslave them, so it's like really slow. Instead we're just gonna kill them, except for 1. I'm not gonna tell who's gonna be that one, but we are meeting the first guy there, which is Arkansas, who is like kind of a crazy dude. He is shooting everyone here, the sniper rifle, so it's kind of annoying. So, surprise, he's actually gonna be killed. Oh my god, it's unlucky. Nice. There we go. So we killed him, he's off the list, but the quest will go on. So I mentioned earlier, and probably you could have seen that our pistol is kinda dumb. So we need to have a better gun, and we're gonna get one. So we are heading towards Vault 92 now. But before that we're gonna pick up some OP gun on the way. So, if you know this location, if you played the DLCs, you probably know this location pretty well. But there's actually an alien crash site here. If I had the the Mothership Zeta DLC enabled, I would get beamed up, and basically it would waste a ton of time. But this is just a vanilla game, and there we go. There's the alien crash site, and there's an alien blaster here, or as we call it, a Lemeo blaster. I'm gonna pick that up and pick up some ammo for it. There we go. And this gun is really OP and really special because I think this is the only gun in the game that has a 100% chance of a critical shot. Meaning that we play on the very easy difficulty, and these two combined lets us do basically that we can kill enemies with one shot, almost every enemy, and it's gonna help with combat. It's gonna be much faster. Right, so as I mentioned, we're heading to Vault 92, there's a quest item called Stradivarius violin, basically a special violin for the quest Agatha's Song, and we're gonna get that violin before even the quest starts. The other item that we pick up is a fission battery, which is super necessary for a later quest as well. Just keep that in mind. So you can see actually the out of bounds movement tag for the first time, I think. So I go out of bounds with the stairs, I grab this door, out of bounds, oops, but I'm disoriented. I go at the top of the stairs here, and basically go into third person and grab the violin. So I grab the violin basically through the wall, and this is another glitch called the third person interaction glitch. So basically your third person camera doesn't have collision, and if you turn that camera at the right angle, you can actually grab items through walls, and basically that's what we did. It's pretty cool. We're gonna do that a couple of times. So we're going to east through Old Olney. This place can be really scary because, as you probably know if you play the game, there are a bunch of death claws here. And if they hit you, it's kind of unfortunate, except for the speedrun, where they can give you like a nice damage boost. They're actually one of the fewer enemies that give you a significant amount of damage boost. Like every boost is like a 1 second boost. Also it's kinda scary and kinda dangerous, but also useful. Anyway, we are heading east because we're gonna visit the Republic of Dave. And Dave is the one that has the second key for the quest. You gotta shoot them in the head. We already got the first one from Dukov. So we can go through the main gate, but we're just gonna take the back door, which is just here at this spot. Just clipping through here. Clipping through here? No, clipping through here. Yes. There we go. That was the door. We're gonna take Dave's keys.
Hi there, honey. Have you spoken to Dave?
And this is the last time we're gonna use a 10mm gun. Nice backflip.
Oh my god! Better not try.
He usually does that. This is the last time that we're using the 10mm gun, and we're gonna clip back. And I'm just gonna run away because they are aggroed to me and I can't fast travel. So I'm gonna drop everything useless here, and I'm gonna equip the alien blaster that we picked up, and traveling back to Minefield. Alright, so we are heading northeast again from the Minefield. The next location is Temple of Union. So there are a bunch of slaves there. They are They are like runaway slaves, and there are some slavers at the Lincoln Memorial who are looking for them, and for that quest you basically need to choose sides and just choose between one of them to help the slaves or to help the slavers. But there's a major sequence break for that quest, which is just actually completing the quest before one of the quest givers gives us, basically. So the leader of the slaves called Hannibal Hamlin, and what you need to do is that kill him before talking to him or doing anything, because the quest won't start that way. If you talk to him and you start the quest and you kill him after that, the quest will fail. It's very important that you kill him kind of incognito. So we're just gonna go here and basically snipe him with our perfectly accurate gun. Probably can see him from here. There we go. First try. It's kinda lucky. Just with the level up, but we won't get it because there are enemies nearby. Right, so next is Canterbury Commons for the quest Superhuman Gambit. But before that I wanna mention what this category is. So basically we need to do all quests in the main game, which are all mark quests. Mark quests are those that increments the quest counter in our Pip-Boy. So we only count the quests that do that criteria, because there's actually a quest log counter in our Pip-Boy, and there are 31 quests, and just need to do only 31 of them, because our mark quests are kinda arbitrary and you don't really know when you are finished with them, so we don't do that.
Are you alright?
So for Superhuman Gambit we need to talk to this guy to actually start the quest, because this is kind of not similar to that quest I mentioned earlier, because you need to actually start the quest, because if you complete the quest objectives, you get the reward, but actually the quest won't complete. So for this quest there are 2 superhumans here. Oh my god. I'm actually gonna reload this because I was lame. There we go. So for this quest, these two super mutant guys are just fighting. You need to resolve their problems. And the fastest way to resolve their problems is just killing one of them, because they just stop fighting, obviously, if one of them is dead. There we go, we did it. Quest completed. So fast travel back to the Super Duper Mart, and we're gonna do something with that quantum that spawned here. Oh, we got level up. Put all coins to lockpick and educated. Alright, so I picked up those whiskey bottles, and what I'm trying to do is that I take the whiskey bottles and it gives me that pop-up window saying how many I want. So I broke the game because I actually took the whiskey bottles, and after that this thing popped up, which is not in sequence. So what I'm gonna do is, if I press A, it's gonna put 40 out of the next item that was under this item, which is the Nuka-Cola Quantum. So if I press A now, I get 40 Nuka-Cola Quantums. So that's the basic method of duping in this game. Shoutouts to Kungkobra for finding this. And we need at least 30 Nuka-Cola Quantums for the quest, the Nuka-Cola Challenge. And before this glitch was found, we actually constructed this whole route to be able to pick up the fixed Quantums. And we actually picked up 30 of them, and it was pretty slow and boring. So with this glitch you don't actually have to collect any Quantums, you just need that one spawn Quantum there. Yeah, it's a pretty insane glitch. It basically changed the whole route of the speedrun. So I went to Marigold Station. I'm gonna void here. Yes, so I void out here, and I'm gonna do the quest called Those, which is about killing some fire ants. and there's an NPC called Brian Wilkes, and he's trying to follow us and tell us that, you know, the ants are killing the people of the town. And it's pretty annoying, so we try to avoid him. But eventually, talking to him after we do the quest will complete the quest. So essentially, you try to avoid him, but after you're done with this quest, you wanna meet him. And his AI is pretty messed up. It's super annoying. And sometimes he can get lost and can't find you, which is unfortunate. So, by killing robots, I send the inhibitor pulse, and that's gonna kill all of the ants outside. I clip out here. Oh god. See, I clip out here. Oh, this is a finicky clip, apparently. There we go. So I'm out of bounds swimming in the water, but I'm gonna void out right now and go back to the start of this cave. Voiding out again. Voiding out again. There we go. We just exit. And there are some enemies nearby, so we try to get away from them as far as possible by clipping inside this building. And there we go, there's Brian. Nice.
It was so...
He was nice to us. And that's the quest, those completed. So we're going to the Jefferson Memorial. Basically we're gonna kill all the enemies inside. This is for the quest, the Waters of Life, which is one of the main quests later on. Basically our dad asked us to clean this place. And it turns out you only need to kill the inside enemies. Because when you fast travel back here, then the scientist and your dad will just appear inside here. Which is ideal, because otherwise they're gonna wait outside and there are a bunch of enemies outside and they will be aggroing them or fleeing. So it's not fast at all. So I try to void out here. Let's skip scenario, nice. I'm gonna kill these mutants here in this basement. Right, so we got kind of unlucky with the spawn pattern here, because he's hiding from me there. There's 2 more CPR mutants left. I like when they're like standing in the corner for no reason. And there is the last one. There we go. This place is cleaned now. And we can do the Waters of Light quest later. I'm gonna void out here instead of walking back. It's kind of a hard setup again. There we go. And we are out. So the next stop is Anacosta Station and discovering Rivet City on the way. So we're gonna encounter our first metro station. Wow, that was a nice boost. So metro stations in this game are kind of similar, and therefore you can get really confused, because we're gonna actually go through a lot in this run, but they are not that bad. But if you're new to this run, you might get confused, because the metro design in Fallout 3 is just really boring and kinda the same pattern all over again. So, entering Anacosta Station, you will see the most important strat in the whole run with opening this door. Hope you enjoyed it. That saves 2 seconds. Alright. So we basically need to go all the way through this area, and we will come out at the other end, which is at the mall, which is like downtown DC. And there are a bunch of museums there and like important historical locations. The first one we're gonna visit is the Museum of Technology. There we go. So there we go. Museum of Technology. And we're gonna wait out here. Nice. So there's an item here called the Relay Dish, which is for the quest Galaxy News Radio. Basically, there's a DJ here, you probably heard of him, called Street Dog, and he's doing some broadcast with his radio, and the broadcast is really bad, and he asked us to fix it by installing the Relay Dish on top of the Washington Monument. Also, lockpicking is very slow, and I just force lock every lock, and if I fail I just reload a quick save that I make before actually encountering a door. So we got the Relay Dish from the Virgo 11, which was the first vehicle that landed on the moon. You probably remember that, like, it's very accurate, very historically accurate video game. So we got the Relay Dish, and there's the Washington Monument, but we can do the quest now. So there are some quests that you can go out of sequence, but for the Galaxy News Radio quest, if you get the dish and clip inside the Washington Monument, because actually you can't enter because there's a terminal window there, and you can only get the password from Street Dog. You start the quest. So if you clip inside, you can actually install the Relay Dish and the quest will start, but when you go to Street Dog to talk to him, the game will get super confused, because there's like a scripted dialogue encounter for the first time with Street Dog, and he just won't have any dialogue whatsoever, so the quest actually will be soft-log. It's one of those quests that will be soft-log if you do that way, so sadly we need to talk to him first. So, here we are at the Lincoln Memorial, and I mentioned earlier, here are the slavers.
I'm Leroy Walker.
And they're trying to give us the quest, Head of State, but we already did everything about that quest, so the quest will be just completed and they're gonna be like, oh great, you completed the quest. We're awesome. And we got the quest reward and the quest completion. Next up is I fast traveled back to the Washington Monument and discovered the Museum of History, where the underworld is. Gonna fast travel back later, and we're gonna go full Nick Cage now and steal the Declaration of Independence from the National Archives for the quest Stealing Independence. So I killed the Super Mutant because I can fast travel from this place. So there's a girl here called Sydney, and she's also she also tries to find the Declaration of Independence, but there's some super mutants here, and eventually we're gonna team up with her. So the Declaration of Independence is in the it's downstairs. We need to get a key from her for this terminal to open the elevator shaft, cargo lift, sorry. So I killed her, and there's a specific reason for that. First of all, she's annoying because she's a temporary follower now. And for example, the next quest, if Sydney is with us, he will try to shoot the family. Oh god. This was not expected. Oh, there we go. So she will try to kill members of the family, and actually she can cause that quest, blood ties, to fail, and that's annoying. So once I get the password from her, I just kill her. You don't actually need to escort her. This clip is annoying. This stair clip is just the worst, but we need to go through here, sadly. God, this takes forever. Skipping in this game is just terrible and sad. Oh my god, why? Why is this happening? So, let's try it again. This is really unfortunate. This has never happened before. This is just... maybe because... it's Disney's Ghost trying to curse us with this clip. God. So clipping in this game is super consistent, as you can see. This is a nice trick that always works, and... oh my god, what? So I don't really know the reason. Because it usually works first try. Kinda feel like a dumb person now. There we go, oh my god. This literally took forever. So this skips a certain section of the area here. But whatever, we lost a ton of time. So, we killed that guy because we got the password for this terminal, and that opens the strong room door. And finally we got the Declaration of Independence after this many tries. Can avoid out. Oh, that went fairly fast, faster than the stair clip. And we're gonna go northwest to Seneca Station. So, anyways, next quest is Blood Ties. Finally, we killed this guy because he's trying to talk to us. It's pretty annoying. Just lose a ton of time by that. And this area is kinda dangerous, but if you walk at a nice position, you can't actually get hurt, but there we go. You avoided the traps, nice.
Whoa.
So we talk to this guy and give him some money to let us in. Right, so we need to kill the leader of the family, called Vance, because he has a key for the door where Ian is, and we need to talk to Ian to finish the quest. And it's gonna be really useful because he has a weapon called the shish kebab that we need later. Also, we got crippled, but that's fine. It's only an arm cripple.
I thought I heard guns.
So we talk to Ian and convince him to get back to RFU. We're gonna void out here and void out here again, and just fast travel back to RFU to talk to Ivan again that, you know, that this thing is settled and don't have to worry about the family anymore. There we go. It's kinda nice. There we go. Right.
There she is.
I'm gonna do something which is kind of out of the way, which is just healing myself instantly in here. I think it's possible. Yes. Alright. So it's not a problem. Oh, okay. So my quick save method didn't register. It's fine though. So it's completely fine if you get crippled on the arm, because I think it doesn't affect your walking speed. It affects accuracy with your gun, I think. And you get also an animation with the crippling arm. It was also kind of new. Like, I usually don't get crippled, but obviously it has to happen in a commentated run, and I try to show off the tricks here.
Is in progress. Citizens are advised.
Also, I quick save and quick load, and that didn't register, so I died, but I reloaded that quick save and it just worked fine, so no worries. I was kind of worried because you can get crippled by that, but thankfully that didn't happen. Anyways, moving on. So we're gonna continue the main quest. So basically what happens here is that for the story of the game, we basically grew up in a vault with our dad, who appears to be a scientist that were working on a thing called Project Purity, which is just making all the water in the wasteland area drinkable, like basically just clean the water. And he just escapes the vault, and we need to find him. And there are some clues where he is, and you need to follow those clues. But what can eventually happen is that accidentally you can find him, or intentionally, if you play this game before and you don't want to go through that process of finding clues. And skipping those parts actually is just not gonna be, won't get the game, basically the game rewards you still with those objectives, so you get those quests completed eventually by finding your dad. So we're gonna complete 2 main quests here, which is scientific pursuits and following in his footsteps, I think that's what it's called, which is just getting clues about Dad's location. So our dad is at Vault 112 or 112, which is like a weird experimental vault where they experimented on the residents, putting them in simulations, but it turns out that the overseer of the vault is kind of a psychopath, and he basically trapped our dad for his weird simulation games. It's creepy. So we're gonna rescue him now. Finally reunited with Dad. Hope you guys are excited for that. So Vault 112 is a secret location. It's not revealed. If you wanna fast travel there, you can't actually find it. So Vault 112 is under Smith's Case's garage. Actually, we're gonna open this latch and it's gonna enter here. There we go. And vault doors are kind of hard to clip through, but this is actually kind of easy. There we go.
Welcome.
And we basically need to enter the simulation.
Take a seat in the nearest event.
And I need to put on the suit for that. And with that I drop everything else because I don't want to get over encumbered later on in the run. Don't need those apparel stuff. So I use the third person interaction glitch again to sit inside the launcher. It saves like 0.5 seconds. So this is a quest called Tranquility Lane. This quest can be quite long, but there is a failsafe for this quest, meaning that we can bypass everything that this quest has to offer. You just need to activate this terminal, the secret terminal, and access the Chinese invasion failsafe program, which kills all of the residents, except me, our dad, and the overseer. But we can escape with our dad, but the overseers will stay in the simulation forever. There we go, we just rescued our dad.
You've saved me.
And I need to talk to him to progress the main quest. And he wants us to go to Root City, but we just say that we're gonna meet you there. And he understands it. So, all points to lockpick, we have 100 lockpick now, and the rest goes to repair. And we need toughness, mostly for safety. So the game makes an autosave now. I'm gonna quit the game. And basically we lost speed triple because you can actually lose speed triple if your character model changes. But if I go back to the save I made at Megaton, I can reapply the speed triple, and the good thing about speed triple is that it's transferable to other save files. There we go, we got the glitch and we just reloaded this save file and we got the speed triple back.
That's the way it has to be.
Also, I forgot to mention, never mind, we can void back here at the entrance. And entering the simulation, we need to rebind stuff because all of our stuff is taken from us. So we just rebinding stuff now. Also, everything is black and white now because we exited the simulation so fast that the game didn't have time to process that. So for a few seconds we're gonna walk through the wasteland with the simulation vision and it slowly goes back. It's a kind of a weird thing. Also, I forgot to mention about speed triple is that there are two versions of speed triple, which is the breakable and the unbreakable one. And we need obviously the unbreakable one. The breakable means that whenever we load the game, the glitch will disappear. And the unbreakable one obviously is more useful because we'll quick load a lot.
Well, hey there.
So,
Sierra Petrova
this is Sierra, and we're gonna turn in the quest. Coca-Cola challenge. Yes, this is okay. Got a bit confused there. So eventually she gives us the quest by saying that, oh, could you collect 30 quantums for me? And we can say that, oh, we already have 30 of those. And we actually give him all of that, and we got a bunch of money from that. So that will basically just fund the rest of the run. We don't have to worry about money anymore. So as I mentioned, there's the unbreakable version of the speed triple, and it can be broken actually by 4 things. The first thing is getting tripled again. The second thing is quitting the game. The third thing is quitting to the main menu, and the fourth thing is changing character models. And that's actually what happened here at the Tranquility Lane quest. But thankfully it's reapplyable. You can also reapply this glitch if the game crashes, which can happen actually, sadly. Again, Fallout 3 was not optimized. I think after Windows 7 it wasn't optimized, and or maybe Windows XP, I'm not sure. But I'm currently at Windows 8, and Windows 8 kinda likes Fallout 3, but for example Windows 10 really hates Fallout 3. So the game crashes a lot and stuff like that.
You can tell 10.
So, I killed this guy because we're gonna start a quest called Timpani Tower.
This better be important.
It's another side quest that you can basically do multiple ways. We're gonna do the evil way because that's faster. So there are these racist residents here that eventually, like, some ghouls wanna try to get in here.
Hey. Whoa. Who are you again?
and you have to choose between one of them to help, and we're gonna help with the residents. Also, we enslaved Susan Lancaster. She's the only one that we're gonna enslave for the quest, strictly business. But don't worry, they won't get aggroed onto us. So we're gonna avoid out here because there is a door that we can't open. And waiting out to her again, and this is the fastest way because you only need to kill 3 super mutants, not super mutants, ghouls. Roy Phillips, this guy, I forgot his name, and the lady super mutant. Otherwise, if you side with these ghouls, you basically need to kill everyone in Company Tower, and there are a bunch of people there. It's just super slow. So we are kind of a bad guy, but it's necessary to be able to go fast. So she's asleep. No, she is dead. Rest in peace. Sorry. So stair clips. So we struggled with stair clips again. There we go, got it. I seriously don't know what happened at the National Archives. That's not the hardest stair clip. But let's move on from that fiasco. Right, so there we go, we did kill all 3 of the ghouls. So we're just gonna turn the quest in with this dude. And there we go. We did the quest, Company Tower. So fast traveling to Paradise Falls, and
Susan thought she could.
we also turn in Susan Lancaster, who we enslaved earlier. So we're gonna put our points to repair now. So we need to get repair to 75, which is needed for the quest Riley's Rangers for later. So for Paradise Falls, we are gonna do the quest Rescue from Paradise. Basically, we need to rescue some kids here from Little Lamplight. They were enslaved, and that completes that quest. And you can do multiple ways. You can actually fight these guys, but the fastest way is just actually buying the kids. And that's why we needed that many money. Earlier, so yeah.
What the hell, lady?
We talked to this kid, and we just basically tell him our plan.
Well, I guess that's...
And that completes the quest. Yeah, easy. So, next quest is Big Trouble in Big Town, which we actually started once we discovered Big Town. There are 2 members of Big Town here, Red and... God, forgot his name. Never mind, forgot the guy's name. So anyways,
You're rescuing me?
we're gonna rescue only Red. And there is a reason for that. Shorty, sorry. His name is Shorty. We also got the second clue for the quest, the Replicated Man. Gonna fast travel from here. Hopefully we can fast travel, nice. And there we go, we rescued Red.
Glad to...
And that's super important. Oh. I messed up, but it's fine. Red resistance, also good. Anyway, so this is kind of interesting. I kind of messed up the dialogue, but it was fine in the end. So basically what happens is that you only need... it's very important to rescue... I don't think that's important, but the most important part is that you can complete the quest by rescuing Red and returning to Big Town, and that completes the quest. But there's some extra things that you can do if you want to be a good guy, which is basically teaching those kids in Big Town how to fight against super mutants, but just tell Red that, you know, I won't. Basically, just you are on your own and I don't care about you. And there's like after certain in-game days, there's a scripted event where there's a super mutant attack against Megaton, and eventually everyone will die, and that's scripted. And as I mentioned earlier, that Red is one of the VIP slaves that we need to get, but if we let her die with the residents, then she just basically will be dead later, and we don't have to worry about her anymore. So I'm gonna go to Oasis now, and the fastest way to go to Oasis is clipping through here, but I suck at this clip apparently. Come on, this is the spot. God. Whenever I try to record something with a commentary, I just mess up stuff. There we go. It's usually faster, but whatever. Anyway, this is the fastest way. Basically, we are inside some rocks. We are just some random miner, I guess, and so we discover the location and this fast travel at the entrance. We skip some area with it.
Outside. I'm so glad you're.
So there's this cult here, which they worship basically a tree who can talk, named Harold, and Harold is like he got some FAV virus early on, and he became a tree basically. So basically like a mutated entity, and he really hates this whole cult thing, and he just wants to die. And the fastest way to kill him is to actually kill him with a either explosive weapon or some fiery weapon. But the truth is that you will hit it and you will get very good bad karma for it. Otherwise you need to find his heart, I think, which is in the soil somewhere. It's pretty long and it's pretty boring, so we just skip that part and complete this quest otherwise. So here's my favorite part, which is the Rivet City quests. There are some quests here that we're gonna complete immediately, and this is kind of a turning point, because if you mess up something here,
Is there a problem?
then you can't really continue with anything. Let's try it.
Yes?
So, first of all, we get the third clue for the quest, the Replicated Man, by talking to Dr. Preston. Is not here. Yes, I was worried about this, I think.
You don't look so tough.
Welcome to
I think we'll just wait for him. Let's wait for him. It's kind of a bummer, but it's fine. I think he will show up eventually. He's here.
You don't look hurt.
He had some breakfast, so it's understandable. So we got the third clue from the quest for the quest, Replicated Man, and that spawns Veronica Watts here, and
You've been rather busy.
she is giving us a fake android component. So basically this quest is about finding some runaway android, and the fastest way to complete this quest is just telling
I told you it would work. We need to
the
get back to
guy
Project.
that he's dead and here's the android
You
component,
there.
and he will believe it and the quest will be completed. Also we talked to Dad to go to the Jefferson Memorial, so all the scientists with him will go there that I mentioned earlier.
Is everything all right?
So we completed the Replicated Man and we progressed the Waters of Life. Next up we're gonna complete 2 quests at the same time. So we're gonna give Abraham
Quite an
Washington
impressive.
the Declaration of Independence. We can also sell the violin for that's Agatha's violin, and that completes Agatha's violin, Agatha's song as well. And don't actually have to give the violin to anyone or to Agatha. You can actually sell it to anyone, and the quest will be completed. Oh, that's not Destroyer. Kind of looks like Destroyer, right?
Hello?
Yeah. So Destroyer is here for the third key for the quest. There we go. For the third key of the quest, you gotta shoot them in the head. And the last thing we're gonna do is actually go to the market and kill Flack, because he's on the list for strictly business and he's not here, which is unfortunate. And this is kind of bad. Alright, this is kind of bad. It can happen. I'm just gonna wait for 1 hour.
Stay.
Maybe this will help. I made the quick save here because you can't really wait once they are aggro to you. So let's see if it helps with this. Because he's usually here, and if he's not, then I don't really know the workaround for this. So alright, let's try something else. It's actually
What's the matter, huh?
why is he here? Oh my god. That was really weird. So he was at Dr. Lee's room, and I don't know why. He got stuck there. I love this video game. Anyway, almost all the time he's at the market. But he was stuck in Dr. Lee's room for no reason at all. And there we go. This is a very fine video game. Right. Moving on. So I mentioned earlier this important step here, opening this door. It saves 2 seconds because we need to void out here. Alright, so the next step is discovering the ranger compound for the quest Riley's Rangers, because so there are some rangers who are stuck at Statesman Hotel, and we need to rescue them, but we're gonna fast travel back here after the quest is done. We're just gonna discover this location first. But at first we're gonna go to the Museum of History to turn in the quest. We gotta shoot them in the head, because if you remember, we collected all of the keys. Also, we're gonna fix our gun because it's kind of in a bad condition at this point, and this guy fixes it basically in exchange for some money. Right, I tried to find some solutions for this. There we go.
What are you looking at?
Right, that was kind of bad. Alright, so anyways, basically I'm gonna turn in the keys and his gag. Thanks. And I try to see if I can go to sleep here, but probably not, never mind. And I'm gonna waste time with this. So we can actually do Riley's Rangers now. Also, we get this loading screen texture glitch. I don't know what causes that, but it's kind of weird. So we go out of bounds, we go onto this rubble, and I don't know why I'm so bad at this. Apparently, okay, so just go here, jump here, and we can skip this area here, going through this section. By going out of bounds and just grabbing this door. And I'm just gonna wait out here. There we go. And discover Chevy Chase North. And this is gonna be useful because we're gonna have to return this for the Galaxy News Radio quest later. So here's actually the worst section of the speedrun that I don't really like, because there are gonna be two really hard clips here. First is this clip. Come on. This is actually just super hard, but this is the only setup that's kind of consistent for me. Everyone, oh there we go, everyone do this differently. There we go, this is the way. So we need to discover Vernon Square, because that's where the Statesman Hotel is, and that's on the rooftop. There are the rangers that we need to rescue. I think I'm gonna use some stim packs here, because this can be tricky. So sadly we used all our stim packs, but we should be fine. Because we need to go through this section where there are a bunch of super mutants, and they can wreck us basically. So to get to the rooftop of the Statesman Hotel, we need to go through this hospital. This is kind of like a maze. If you are new to this and you try to learn this, it's gonna be a bit challenging, because it's literally just going through this section, and it's like a giant maze basically, as I mentioned. So the good thing is that you can skip this area by going out of bounds here, going at the top of the stairs, and going this direction without actually seeing the floor. It's kind of scary. Got it? Eventually we need to go back in bounds. So I'm just gonna make a hard save here, because if we COC back, we're gonna COC back at the beginning. So I'm just gonna go a bit. I messed up, so I just reload this. Hit the wiggle, and there we go. We are back inbounds. So we needed 75 repair for this skip, because we can repair this elevator and it skips a big area for later. Also, this is the clip that I mentioned that's super hard and I hate it. I try to go back and forth to be able to do this consistently, probably not gonna work, so it's gonna take a while. This is actually gonna be the same experience that the stair clip at the National Archives, but oh, there we go, that was kinda good. This is like probably the hardest clip in the run, for me at least. There we go, we got to the rooftop by voiding out to the door here, and
Hey, you! Get
this
your
guy needs to talk to us. And we needed the fission battery for repairing this elevator. So that skips a big major section of this area. There we go, and we need to kill these mutants. Oh my god. Because otherwise the rangers won't follow us back to the ranger compound. Yes, we got it. And there we go. We just need to talk to Riley, who is the leader of the rangers. And the quest will be completed.
You look like you've been through.
Yes, I've been through hell. This speedrun is kind of hell, but it's still kind of fast, let's just say that. There we go. Completed the quest. And also, let's return to the main quest. So, as I mentioned earlier, we cleaned the place and the scientists will be inside already without any problem. Also, we're gonna heal up here at full health, so it's gonna be fine. So we're gonna talk to our dad because we need to get the project Purity back online.
Here we are.
So we're gonna do some menial tasks. First is powering up the pumps, I guess. Yes. Pump control.
Hi.
So I avoid that here. And it's actually important that I land on here because there's a switch here. Switch here, yes.
Great work on the pumps.
And I just press it out of bounds. So I'm gonna heal up here. By the way, sleeping at least 1 hour just gets you full health, so... But there are not many beds that you can sleep in it, so it's kinda bad.
Hey there.
But this is a location that you can sleep. So the next menial task is getting to replace some fuses.
I've been hearing good things.
Yes, fuses.
Did you mean something?
And we got them. And after that we activate the mainframe. Sadly we can skip this part, we need to do this because it's actually a scripted event coming up that I won't spoil. So,
The fuse is in place.
the fuse is in place. There we go. And we activate the mainframe. There we go.
There are a few minor
Yes, there are 3 minor repairs. There is one menial task which is drain the intake pipes. And hopefully nothing goes wrong with that quest, right? I mean, this is kind of the end of the run anyway, so nothing goes wrong during, like, there's no twists in any video game ever and any story ever, so that's it, happy end, right? Anyway, I just waited out and go this direction. Gonna drain the intake pipes. There we go. Oh no, what's happening? Oh no. Oh my god. This is bad. So the Enclave is here and they try to sabotage our stuff because they are evil and they want to take control of the project. Alright, so I tried to do this. It's kind of tricky. There we go, we got it. It's fairly good. Instead of going downstairs again and going back up here. Kill that Enclave soldier and I kill this Enclave soldier. And there's a cutscene here. I talked to Colonel Autumn, he doesn't have any dialogue,
I suggest you
but
comply.
talking to him twice skips big chunks of his dialogue.
I grow.
And for the main story, our dad basically acts like a martyr and is gonna sacrifice himself for the greater good. And overpowering the console there. So we just need to escape. Basically, this is an escort quest from now on, escorting the scientist out of here and to the Citadel.
James.
And it's really annoying. It can be really annoying, but there's actually a skip here. So normally, Dr. Lee is opening a door by activating the terminal, but it takes around a minute and it's super slow.
Don't wander off. We're going to need you.
And there's a way to skip this.
What did you do?
We spent a bunch of time figuring how this works. So, Dr. Lee is an essential character, you can't kill her. but you can delay her. Oops. You can delay her by going here. And she will be unconscious there. Oh my god, that was super slow. So I activated the secret door, and you need to do this really fast to be able to work. This might not work actually, so you need to go super fast because she will go to that scripted cutscene kinda that she will try to open the door with the terminal, and if she gets there, this glitch won't work, or this sequence break. If it works, then essentially you skip that part and the scientist will appear here. Let's see if we got it. There we go, we got it. That saves like more than a minute. And that completes the quest Waters of Life and starts the quest Picking Up the Trail. But we're not gonna do the Picking Up the Trail right now. Instead we're gonna do Galaxy News Radio. So the skill points doesn't matter anymore. I just pick some stuff that I used to pick. So this is also a pretty weird sequence break here. So there are no Brotherhood of Steel soldiers here because we got out of sequence. Usually Lion's Pride appears here, but we go out of sequence with the main quest, so they won't appear here. Also, for this quest you need to kill the Superhuman Behemoth and every Super Mutant, but if you're fast enough,
Looks like it's all clear.
you can skip that and actually enter the area. It's kinda crazy, but only if you're fast enough. If you start to fight, then they won't let you in. So here is Citadel, and he tells us that we need to fight the good fight and help him actually. And he says that there's a relay dish somewhere, need to get it, and we're like, oh, we already have it, and he's like, oh, you're super cool, and we just need to install it at the Washington Monument. And we can actually complete the quest. Let's take the elevator. It's gonna be a nice animation here. So this switch or control is just stable, but everything else is moving around it. So good game design, I guess. By the way, we are kind of close to the end of the run. There's like 10 more minutes left, I guess. Right, so install the dish and go back to 3 Dog. There. Oops. Oops. So let's see if we get lucky. There he is. He is upstairs probably. Because he is fleeing. Right, let's wait for an hour. I think we got super unlucky with him. Is he outside? Sure. No. Run away from me. So we got unlucky. So since there are still enemies outside, he's gonna go fleeing, and it's annoying because he can be anywhere. But we got him. So we are at the end of the run, basically. So there is one more side quest left actually, and the rest will be only main quests. So Shorty has died, which is really good. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the indication that all of the residents at Big Town died, so this actually completes the quest. Strictly business now, because Red is also dead if Short is dead. So this is the quest, Trouble on the Home Front, which is returning to Vault 101 because Amata is calling us, basically saying that there's some havoc in the vault or something. I don't remember this quest exactly, but you need to take care of that by doing multiple things. You can do the peaceful way or the nice way. We're gonna do the absolute evil way, which is just setting the vault to self-destruct. With this terminal, we kill Stanley because he has the code for this. There we go. He got super evil because basically that will solve their problems, but it's like super evil thing. Also, I shot my gun because the overseer is trying to talk to us, and that's slow. If you shoot anywhere, he won't talk to you, but I managed to shoot him. Also, the layout of the Vault 101 section changes, so we can't use the same method to get out as we did on the intro. So the CLC points changes and all the other stuff. So we just need to do this method for it, and the quest will be completed once you escape. Alright, so from here on out we only do main quest. So normally for the picking up the trail quest you need to look at the terminal of the Citadel and talk to Scribe Rothschild about where the GEC is, which is like this military equipment that creates life, I think, and this is like the key to Project Purity. And you need to get it. And but if you talk to MacReady without looking at the terminal, the quest will progress eventually, and you don't have to look into the terminal or talk to Rothschild about it. You can skip it basically. And I guess we are not sure if it's like developer intended, because if you played the game before and you know the location, it's obviously gonna be awkward to look into that terminal again to search for the vault. But yeah, this is how you can skip that part in the Citadel. So this part is actually part of the any percent route, and this is the hardest part, so I need to concentrate at some point here. So basically we're gonna get the GEC, the Garden of Eden creation kit, which creates life, and the hard part here is that the GEC chamber is very irradiated, and there's a chance you die there, so you need to go really fast there. I'm gonna make a hard save there before entering the chamber because I don't wanna risk it. So there's some movement attack here. I'm gonna go for the safe route here. If you're interested how you can do this section quickly, watch the any percent route, because in any percent we skip all of the quests and go here and get the GEC early, and that initiates the final quest of the game. Oops. Oh my god. To clip out here. Jump here. Jump here. Jump here. God. What's happening? Grab this door, avoid out. And we're gonna get the GEC now. So this part is something that I hate. I tried to do the third person interaction glitch, which is just getting the GEC without opening its chamber or pod or whatever, because it looks cool, but I'm not really good at it. So I missed this jump, so I just reload this save file. It's kind of unfortunate. Clipping inside of the stuff is... Come on. Oh, I got it. we got it. And we void out here. Nice. That was super lucky. Well, I got like I show you guys. So I grabbed the gag in third person and I voided out. You can actually open that holder, but it takes some seconds, so it's kinda slow. Also, we got the gag, but the Enclave is gonna get us now, and this is a cutscene that we cannot skip. This is usually where I chill.
Objective is secured, sir.
So we complete the quest
Good work,
after
soldier.
this cutscene
Make sure
called
the Gek is secured aboard my vertibird.
Yes, sir. I'll
Garden
have
of
that
Eden.
come down and
What?
remove it immediately, sir.
You're certain she's
I
unharmed?
forgot the quest name,
Yes, sir.
but Garden of
Pass out
Eden,
shortly, but we can
isn't
revive
it?
her.
Excellent. Prepare
And
her
it
for
stars the
transport
quest
immediately.
The American Dream,
Right away, sir.
and she's just escaping Ravenrock because Ravenrock is the center of the Enclave and we need to escape that place.
So, you're...
Yes, so we tell this guy to back off. Skip this dialogue. There's the president, who is like a AI machine computer stuff. And we skip his dialogue, but we need to space it out because he talks slow. There we go. So all of our stuff is confiscated, but we actually don't need our stuff anymore. It's on that locker, but we won't need that. So next up is a really hard clip. It's probably the hardest clip in the any percent route. It takes a while to learn it. I'm usually consistent with it, so hopefully we can get it. It's called the presidential door clip. Let's try to get it. There we go, we got it. That was fairly good. Oops. So you need to go like out of bounds and inbounds back for that clip. It's very precise. So there's the president, and we talk to him, and he wants to give us the FAV virus so we can contaminate the purification machine. We say sure, totally. So we need to escape the Ravenrock station because it's set to self-destruct, and this is the final part when the game can wreck me really hard because there's a guy with a missile launcher here. There we go. We got it right. Gonna return to the Citadel. Actually, the first time we're gonna enter the Citadel. And there's one more quest left to do, which is take it back. It's usually a fairly long quest by activating Liberty Prime with a giant robot and going through some areas, but we will just skip all the way through. God. We go. And I voted out to this cutscene.
So we just
It's
wait.
kind of creepy. So here's the leader of the Brotherhood of Steel,
you're back.
Elder Lions. Yes, I got the gag, blah blah blah.
If the
I'm just gonna skip a bunch of dialogue.
Yes. Before we get started.
So it's kind of creepy because we
Okay,
clip
we're
inside
going to go over
her
it one more
character
time.
model. I'm just gonna skip a bunch of dialogue here. Also, we got some frame drops here. I don't know why, but the game just dropped frames here. Oh, this is actually very complete on the American Dream. I forgot that. because this is where we get a bunch of experience and gonna level up once more. There we go. A fast travel to the Citadel, so I can skip this walk. I'm just gonna spam leveling up, doesn't matter anymore. So, I just skipped the entire fight with Liberty Palm and just going all the way back here, going straight to the Jefferson Memorial. And at this point, the Jefferson Memorial just disappears from our map. So you can't fast travel there. So you need to go there. The fastest ways from the Citadel. So there's this energy shield here, and we just clip inside here twice, so we skip that energy field. And there we go, the final quest. We just need to press some buttons and that will be the run. We need to talk to Ron and Autumn here, because otherwise we can't press the buttons. I'm gonna clip inside the chamber. And 2, 1, 6, and done. And sadly we die here. And that's the end of the run. And we need to verify our run. And we made a quick save here. So let's see. There we go. We completed 30 quests. As I mentioned, 31 quests that we need to do, but the final quest is when you enter the code there. So that's all the quests we need to do, and this is the quest completion stat here. That needs to be 30 at this point, so that means that it was a valid run. This was actually kind of a bad run, but I could show you some cool stuff here, and it's actually possible to do this almost in 1.5 hours, but so there were 2 timers on the screen. The first one on the top is showing the real time, and the second is actually the time without loads, because this is actually how we time this run, because both screens are PC dependent, so we just count them out. Anyway, this was the run. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So English is not my first language, but hopefully you could understand me, and hope I didn't talk too much stupid stuff all over the place, and hope it was informative. If you have any questions, you can ask me in any of my social media, or if you wanna if you're interested in speedrunning Fallout 3, you can hit us up in Discord. We have a Fallout speedrun Discord, so if you have questions, you can ask your questions there too. So thank you guys for watching, and we enjoyed this and hope it was informative, and yeah, thank you, goodbye.